Hey guys, it's Alex Serpentine back again with another video about the dragons or obstacles from Michael teachings. There's 7 different ones, and so I'm making a video on each of the different of the 7 obstacles. And this one is impatience. So all this information is mainly taken from this book, Transforming Your Dragons: How to Turn Fear Patterns into Personal Power by Jose Stevens. So this book is really great because it goes into depth about each of these obstacles, which everybody has obstacles, and we usually have 2 of them. So if you read this book, he has some exercises you can do to become aware of which dragons you might actually have, and it gives a lot of detail on how you can overcome these dragons. And so that's what I'm going to be highlighting in this book. It's an outline of the main things that he says in each chapter. So let's get into it for impatience. So the definition of impatience is a fear of missing out, that time will run out, or not achieving the desired outcomes quickly enough. There's rushing, being intolerant, you experience heavy stress, you try to do too much in too short a time, and you're constantly in future fantasies. You're not present, you're accident prone, and as children you were deprived of experience. So this is actually a really common one for, I would say, is like the young soul stage in Michael teachings. Really big in our Western world where we feel like we have to keep on going and working on things, and it gets us out of being present is the biggest thing. We don't know how to be present, and you just feel like you're missing out on everything, and you're always future oriented, trying to go towards your goals, but you feel like you never get there. And so the biggest key for this is to learn how to be present, but we'll get into that in the next slides. So in the Michael teachings, there's a positive pole and a negative pole for each of the characteristics. The positive pole is the best manifestation of the healthiest way you can approach this obstacle in this case. And the negative pole is the worst manifestation of it. So the positive pole is called daring. It's the courage to take action swiftly and decisively, often leading to progress. So that's what the positive uh, things you can get out of this if you're doing it the healthiest way. The negative pole is intolerance, an inability to tolerate delays or imperfections, leading to frustration and rash behavior. The external manifestation of impatience is being excitable, snappish, short tempered, short fused, intolerant, abrupt, rash, hasty, reckless, and rude. The internal manifestation is feeling nervous, anxious, jittery, agitated, impulsive, fretful, antsy, eager, chafing, impetuous, and heedless. I just had to get a drink of water real quick. Okay. So there's 7 steps of development for impatience that happen in childhood. Usually all these dragons stem from some experiences you had in childhood, or they're learned from your parents in some way. So for the impatience dragon, step 1, the children are rushed. So maybe your parents are always rushing you around and showing like how you're lacking time to work on things or to get through things. So you just feel rushed. Step 2, the children associate fear with rushing. Then the children learn that time is limited. The children associate goals with a limited time frame. The children learn that time can be lost. The children feel trapped by time. And the last step is that the children learn that the present is not important. Like I said, you start to not be present anymore, and you're always trying to be in some other place than where you're at, which creates a lot of stress. So in Jose Stevens' book, he has a section called Belief and Decision for each of the steps that I just outlined. So they're little quotes that kind of show what you believe in the process of developing these patterns. Step 1, brushing is how to be in the world. Step 2, brushing must be important to my survival. Time is something that there is too little or too much of. So it's either you feel like you don't have enough time to do the things that you need to do, or that you just have so much time and it's there's some anxiety of having too much time in your hands and not knowing what to do about it. I must rush to complete my goals. If I don't rush, I'll never complete my goals. I can lose time and it is forever lost. If time is lost, I am lost. I am the victim of time, particularly the lack of time. I am its prisoner. The last step is the present is not important. Get rid of it. So there's in Jose Stevens' book, he has outlined the stages of maturity, which are a reflection of the soul ages from Michael teachings. And the soul ages are developmental stages that we go through in our reincarnational cycle where we're learning different lessons as we grow. So in the earlier soul ages, we're not as aware of these patterns playing out in us, but we're still completely affected by them. But as we get to later soul age stages, we become more and more aware of these patterns, and it manifests differently based on the values that we're experiencing and valuing at each of the different stages. So at the infant stage, there's ruthless gratification, demanding immediate satisfaction without consideration for others. Baby soul stage, bigoted irritability, displaying narrow-minded annoyance towards those who don't meet one's expectations. At the young soul stage, there's fast track, haste, rushing through life and decisions in a relentless pursuit of goals. In the mature soul stage, there's intolerance at self and system, feeling frustration with both personal shortcomings and systemic inefficiencies. And at the old soul stage, there's visionary impatience, driven by a strong desire to see rapid progress and change for the better. So if you don't know about the soul ages, I made a video a while ago that you can check out, soul ages, that goes into more depth on each of these stages so you can understand what they look like. They're kind of reflected in each of these obstacles I'm talking about. So here's some affirmations that you can use that are from the book for impatience and how to overcome impatience. I have all the time I need to accomplish everything I want in life. Time is my friend. Just when I seem to need it most, I have all the time I need. I enjoy just being without having to do anything. The more relaxed my pace, the more I seem to accomplish. When I slow down, I accomplish more. Time is always on my side. I am smooth and graceful in everything I do. I have learned how to be here now. So a big thing of this is like, that idea of the tortoise and the hare, how the hare is kind of like jumping around really fast and going from one thing to the next, just like, but he's hasty, and the tortoise is slow and determined, and that kind of highlights, in the end the tortoise wins the race against the hare, and that's basically what impatience is all about. Like, it's showing if you actually give yourself more time to things, you actually become more efficient. And to really overcome this is to realize that you actually have all the time in the world, and there's no need to rush on anything. And I think there's a belief in the Western world that we only have this one life, and we have to do as much as we can to accomplish all the things we want to accomplish, or else everything's wasted. But that's not actually the case. Like, we're actually living through several lives, like hundreds of lives, and so we actually have all the time in the world. We're eternal beings. It's not possible to really waste any time. Everything that we spend time doing is valuable, and we learn something from it. So, and just even if you don't really believe in past lives and stuff, it's demonstrative that if you slow down and take more time with things, and that actually allows you to be, like I said, more efficient and to enjoy the process of engaging in whatever you are engaging with and moving towards your goals. And that's actually how you live a more fulfilling life. So there's 7 weapons that Jose Stevens outlines in how to slay these dragons, and so these are ones for impatience. Weapon 1: waste time. Like, give yourself time to just do whatever you want and not feel like you have to work towards a certain goal or achieve a certain thing or have a certain experience. Just have unstructured time and enjoy that time and see what that experience is like. Learn silence. So learning silence is important because there's usually a lot of distractions that people with impatience have where they can't really be present. They feel other things impinging on them that they have to attend to. So they usually have a lot of distractions, maybe noises or different things that are distracting them. So learning about silence and appreciating silence is important. And that comes to this third weapon: cut out intrusions. It's a similar kind of thing. Be graceful. So there's a aspect of learning how to be uh, graceful. And weapon 5: develop rhythm. There's something about kind of a natural flow of energy and time. Um, so developing grace and rhythm is actually part of that. If you're really impatient, you won't actually be able to have a sense of rhythm. So it actually makes it harder. Like if you were like a musician, for example, like you'd have to learn how to really go with the flow with things and feel the natural rhythm. So that's one way to counteract this impatience obstacle. Be mindful and learn the true nature of time. Like I said, the true nature of time is that we have all the time in the world, and there's no reason to feel like we're lacking it. So 7 exercises that you can do. Like I said, experience unstructured time, become silent, learn to cut out intrusions, develop gracefulness, develop rhythm, develop mindfulness, and play with time. So this impatience obstacle is very like kind of like what we'd say unspiritual in a way, because you can't be present. Like, and one of the main teachings in spirituality is that being present is a very important thing. So that's what we're basically learning for the impatience dragon to overcome it, is that you're learning how to be present and enjoy the present moment, because that's where the fulfillment comes. It doesn't come from future things. And if you're just always focused on the future, then you can't really appreciate where you're at now. And that's not really a fulfilling way to live life, where you always feel like you have to be somewhere other than where you are. So being present is the big key here for impatience. So that's everything I wanted to present from the book um, for impatience. So like I said, this is from Transforming Your Dragons: How to Turn Fear Patterns into Personal Power by Jose Stevens. I highly recommend reading this book. It goes into much more detail. This was just an outline of the main things to pay attention to that he includes in his book. So, like I said, I'm working on this on each of the dragons. I'm making a video on each of the dragons, going through the important things from this book. So if you want to learn more, check this book out. So that's it for this video. I have a couple more of these that I'm going to do. So you can go check those out on my page. I'm basically posting these all at the same time. So there'll be a lot more to check out if you want to learn more about which dragon is yours. You might resonate with this one or one of the other ones. So yeah, you can check that out in your free time. Your free time. You have infinite time, guys. So yeah, that's it. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the